Are you tired of missed bookings and scheduling hassles? Well, in this video, in just under 10 minutes, I'm going to take you through on how you can set up an appointment booking and scheduling website using WordPress that will streamline your schedule like never before. So welcome to the tutorial. My name is Hamza. Just like I have shown you at the start of this video that you can add a booking functionality to your website in as simple as 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to walk you through that in this video. If you are wondering what kind of businesses or niches that you can add scheduling and booking functionalities to, well, this can work for salons and spas, medical services, for example, doctor's appointments, dental checkups, therapy sessions, as well as for fitness and wellness, legal services, photography studios, tutoring and educational services, home services, consultancy and coaching, auto services, event planning and catering. So this is the website for a wellness service, and they have all their services listed over here, but they're still doing it the old school way. In this case, when someone say, for example, book now, they'll be taken to a contact form where they have to fill in again another form, and then they have to wait for a response. But how about if you automate that when your clients books a service, they automatically make a payment and everything is scheduled within your scheduler and into the calendars, and your clients will be notified about the appointment date and time, and as well as your workers or your employees. So to do that, we are going to go here to the MotoPress website and we are going to get the appointment booking plugin. I will be leaving a link right down in the description of this video. But what we need here is a license and the key, which is for about $60 a year. And once you get that, come over here to your WordPress website, come to plugins, install, make sure that you have version 1.20 or 1.20. You'll get a very good experience. And then we have to add our license that we got from MotoPress. To do that, we are going to come over here to the appointments menu option, come down below here to settings, and we are going to come here to licenses. Once you add your license, activate save changes, and boom, we are good to go. Now, let's go and set up how our plugin will be working on our website. Back here, still under settings, let's come to the general settings. Right over here, you have to set up the time schedule for an individual session. So for example, if someone is coming for a haircut can take about 45 minutes. If, for example, someone wants to do a facial scrub, that can as well take like 45 minutes. So you set up here the default time slot for a specific service or for most of the services that you offer. Here you have to set up the confirmation mode, whether upon appointment or automatically, or the admin has to approve a certain appointment. Set up your terms and conditions page. You may allow multiple bookings of several services. For example, someone may want to do a haircut and a facial scrub, or a haircut and a massage. So you can allow that. For now, I'm going to disable that. I don't want to use coupons. And down below here, we have to set up the currency. At the moment, this business is located in Germany. Okay, this is a demo tutorial, but it makes sense to set up the locality or the location of the website or the business, the currency, save changes. Let's set up our emails. So under the email section, it shows you what kind of emails your website administrator will receive. For example, for new bookings, canceled bookings. Your client will receive emails about a new booking, the customer account creation on your website, and as well as a canceled booking. Set up your emails the way you want them, and you are good to go. Besides that, you can set up the colors, the best colors of your email templates. This is how it should look like. So this is how, for example, if a new booking comes in, you receive this kind of a template as an administrator, and also your client will receive a similar copy to their email, just like this. Good. Once that is done, let's go to the notifications. So under notifications, you want that your notifications can be sent from a specific email, and as well as they have a new feature that is called SMS notifications that can be sent to your client. For example, a notification can be sent to a client just hours before their appointment as a reminder, which I think it's pretty nice. But not only that about notifications, they have another option down here under coupons called notifications, where you can add several types of notifications. You can trigger a notification once a payment is completed. For example, we are going to see how you can add direct payments. And if your client makes a direct payment, you can trigger that. You can go straight into their booking and then complete the payment. And that means that they'll get a notification. Well, this is as simple as 1, 2, 3 to set up, and you don't have to have any technical skills. Once you set it up, then you are good to go. Back to our settings, come to payments. I've just talked about the direct payment option. Well, it's right over here, and you can enable those features just by clicking over here, say manage, for example, pay on site, enable the option, add the directions or the instructions, save changes. For example, for the direct pay option, come right over here, enable the direct payment method, add the details on how the client must make the payment. So in this case, if they make a direct payment, they also have to indicate the kind of or their booking number for easy reference. Once that is done, save changes. Once you save changes, then you come back here to the general settings. You have to set up the default payment method. You can choose from different payment methods. You can accept PayPal payments, Stripe payments, pay on site, and direct payment. But in this video, I'll only show you how to enable the direct payment option and also the pay on site option. If you want to watch a video on how you can enable the PayPal option or the card payment option or the Stripe payment option, I'll be linking a video right down in the description of this video. And briefly, let's look into the integrations options. Here you can integrate with the Google Calendar so that your employees get notifications right inside their Google Calendars once a payment or booking is made with them. Well, that's all with the settings. Let's move into the next part of this video. In this part of the video, let's look into how we can add employees in our appointment booking website. Under appointments, we're going to go straight to employees. And under employees, you see we have 4 employees at the moment that I have already added. And you can attach services to those employees or the services that they specialized in. So for example, this is David Anderson. You can add their name. And right over here for the featured image, you can add the image of that employee. And do you remember the option of integrating with the Google Calendar? Well, if you have it enabled, then you'll be able to connect it over here to each and every other employee. You can as well add their WordPress email over here so that they are able to log into the back end of the website and be able to see what kind of appointments, clients, times, and even payments if they have been made for the services that have booked with them. And if you simply want to add a new employee, come over here to add a new employee and proceed with adding their name, their description, and all those other details. Just like that, in under a minute, you're able to add an employee and you are good to go. Now let's go and look into how we can add services. So right over here under appointments, come straight to services. Like you can see that here are several services that have been added already. So for example, when I come here to the services page, you see that there are services that are being offered at this clinic. And those are the services that we have listed over right here. For example, if I open to edit one of the services, you are able to add the service name, the price for that service, a duration for that service, how long it takes in this case. You can add a buffer time. So a buffer time is the time it takes in preparation for the next service. So in this case, this as a wellness center, they probably have to prepare the beds and clean up the rooms, change the bed sheets and everything. So you need a buffer time. Then under the option of time before making a booking, so in case the employees or a doctor or the therapist needs a time to prepare for another appointment, you can set up how much time is needed before another appointment is actually made on the site. You can set up the minimum and maximum capacity for an appointment. For example, you can have a group of 10 people who come into for the service at the same time. So those are the options that you can set up over here, and then you can multiply the price by the number of people. If you enable that option, then this price over here will be multiplied for each individual. The beauty is you can select which employees will be assigned or are able to offer this service. So for example, you may be having like a clinic, and not that all doctors that are employed in this hospital are dentists. So that means that you'll have to select what kind of doctors can be selected if a patient wants dental services. So right over here, you can assign those employees. You can as well go ahead and add a variation for each individual employee. For example, if you have these dentists in your hospital and you have some that are really specialized and probably are offering the service at a higher price, you can go ahead, select that employee, add a different price tag per hour and a duration for their session, minimum and maximum capacity. Once that is done, you can go ahead and add a featured image for the service and then simply save changes. So the second last thing we have to do before we actually roll out our appointment booking website is the schedules. So under schedules, we are going to say open up the schedules. For example, each and every doctor that you have can be created a schedule by coming over here to say add a new schedule, select the employee, select the location. In case you have different locations, I'm going to show you just in a little bit on how you can add locations, and then you are good to go. However, I already have schedules created over here. And for example, if I look into the schedule for Dr. David Anderson, I added their name, selected the employee and added the location. And for example, here is a schedule. This doctor works throughout Friday and doesn't work on Saturdays. And I can still add exceptions. For example, this doctor may work on a Sunday and then say, for example, from midday to, let me say, 3 p.m. for just 2 or 3 hours. And then this is like working hours and the location right over here. And you'll see that this on a Sunday will be added over here. So add. Now that means that this doctor will work for about 6 days in a week, but only works for about 2 or 3 hours on Sunday. So you have to go ahead and add those different schedules for each and every employee that you have, so that when a client is making their appointment or they are booking on their website, they'll be able to see the available days and times for the specific employee they have chosen. Well, let's look into the locations. Locations can be, let me give you an example. At the wellness center, there are rooms for example, stress therapy, for example, for massage, and these could be different locations within the same facility. But in case they are not rooms and they are different locations of the same company or the same service provider, but in a different state or in a different country, well, you can go ahead and add that. So for example, this is going to be Dresden. Then I'll simply say publish. And once I have that location added, now I'm going to come back here. You see locations. Now I have Dresden, Germany. So now I'll come over here to schedules and then select, for example, Emily. And here I'm going to choose a location. So maybe in this case, her main location is Dresden. So that means that if someone wants to book with Emily, then they'll have to go to the Dresden location. So it looks like we are done making the basic settings or the major settings to set up our appointment booking website. So let's see how we can add this to actually see it working or doing the magic at the front end of our website. So in this case, we have over here our home page. So clicking here straight to the home page, we have this button over here. We want that when someone clicks this, they are not taken to the contact page, but they are actually given the booking form, where they can start with their process of making a booking on this website. So to do that, we are going to come straight here to our edit page option. Well, I have also to mention that this can be done in Gutenberg or even within Elementor or any other page builder that you are using. In this case, right over here, I'm going to come and say add a new button. So this is going to be a model. I'll add a model box. I'm going to rename this something that I want. Book appointment. Good. And in here, I'm going to add a shortcode. And where do I get a shortcode that is going to display our booking form? To do that, I'll come back here to my editor or inside the dashboard, and I'm going to go straight here to help. Under appointments, help, there is the option called appointment form. Copy this shortcode. Come here to your page, under the shortcode block, paste the appointment shortcode. I'll clear what I don't need from the model box and what I don't need from this other call to action. So call to action was a button. I don't need it to appear, and that's it. I'm going to say update. I'll go back to the front page of my website. Good. We have a new button called appointment booking. When I click here, boom, we have the appointment booking form showing up here. You can go ahead and add anything right over here to make it look even more nicer. But in the case someone wants to book like consultations or a therapy, then here they're able to select, a specific service, select a location, and then select an employee, and then say next. Right over here, they will be able to select the date. You see some dates are grayed out because that employee is not available, or those dates are not actually bookable. So if you go ahead, you'll see that in the new calendar month, you have new available dates. So in this case, in November, you have only these few dates. And these are the times that this specific employee will be able to be available to offer the service. Then next, now here it gives you a summary of the reservation. For example, a therapy, it's going to be a herbal therapy on this day at this time. And it's in this location, this is the employee, and that's it. So I'll say next, or the country code, add the phone number. You can add custom booking notes in case a client wants to communicate a specific need or a request, they can add it over here. I don't want to add anything. And remember, we set our default payment option to be the direct bank transfer. We can choose another option over right here and say pay on site. Basically, we have a summary of the reservation. And if I say reserve, it won't go through because someone has not checked the option to accept the terms and conditions, which are clearly written on the site. Once that is checked, I'll say reserve. Well, just like that, we have our reservation made on our website in just a few minutes, or less than 10 minutes, I should say. Now let's go and look at this reservation that has been made on the website. In this case, as a website administrator, I should be able to receive this email of a new reservation, and as well the employee that has been booked, and as well as the client that has made the booking. You should all be able to receive a notification of this new booking. Like I have already shown you how to set up the notifications and also the emails. But for now, let's look into the bookings. So coming back here to the dashboard, under appointments, bookings, you see that we have a new booking. It's a confirmed booking by this person, Marcus Miremba, and that's it. They booked this employee. Now, if we open up here, the details, you see that this is the price they have to pay or that they paid. And these are all the details. The email of the customer and their contact, in case they added any booking notes, those should appear right below here. Now, in case you want to confirm if they made the payment, you can go down below here to the payments option and then check the payment. This is the payment number. It is on hold because they actually didn't make a payment. And this is where it is very important to be able to add the notifications for processing the payments in case they are direct bank transfers. Once you confirm that the payment has been made, then you are able to come right over here, edit the payment amount, and the payment method, and then the transaction. So if you see this transaction in the bank, then you're able to add the transaction number, and right over here, you'll be able to say completed, and then you update. Now, the client will receive a notification once you update their payment, and that payment will also appear that payment has been completed right over here. This is the email to the administrator. The client will receive a similar email. So this is the booking number, the kind of service that has been booked with this employee on this date, and the client is this, and this is the client details, the phone number, and all the details, including the method of payment. Well, that is all that you need to have for your booking website without having so many complications, thinking how to fix this, fix that, and a lot of technicalities. This is just working out of the box. I guess you have a question like, how about if my client is not able to book online? For example, if they send you an email or they march into the office physically, or in case they make you a phone call, can you add new bookings? Of course, yes. How do you do that? Come over here, add a new booking, say edit reservations, add more, select the service. So this will be basically the same process you go through on the front end, or the client goes through on the front end, but in this case you're doing it on their behalf. So for example, I select the service that they want, select the location, select the employee, and then say next. Select the available date, select the time, next. Just like that, done, create. Once I have it created, it has now added the price of the service and the details of the service. Now, what's the mode of payment? So in case they make a bank transfer, or in case they pay cash at the office, well, I can still come over here, say add a payment manually, and then automatically the booking ID will be generated, and it was a manual payment, but you can still select right over here whether it was they paid on site. Payment method, you can say cash, and there's no transaction ID in case you have or you issue manual receipts. You can add the receipt number right over here. So something like that, then say create. Now that means that we will have a new appointment that has been made manually right over here. Of course, I forgot to add the customer name, which you can go ahead and add down below here. So this is Michael. Please never forget to add the customer email and customer name. That will be a mess. Add their phone number, and that's it. So in case you want to add specific notes to a booking, you can do that right over here and save the booking. Your client will be notified and you'll have the data saved on your website. Well, I can't close this video without mentioning the fact that there are several tags or shortcodes that you can use on your WordPress website, and you are able even to go ahead and customize them and how they are going to display information on your website. So to access those shortcodes, just simply come over here and say help, or click on help in this case, and these are the different shortcodes that you can use, and these can be pasted anywhere on your WordPress website, whether using the block editor or Elementor or Divi. Mention it, they work just seamless, and you can as well go and customize them based on the different IDs and how you want the information to be displayed on your WordPress website. And also there's an option over here for shortcodes where you can just go and say I want to create a shortcode or a custom shortcode about locations, and here you can go ahead and create it the way you want. Of course, there is a video from MotoPress basically on how to customize your shortcodes and the kind of data that they will be displaying. The very last question about the appointment booking functionality, does it work with any website? Yes, for as long as you have that website on WordPress, you can add this appointment functionality in less than 10 minutes, just like you have seen in this video, and you are good to go. And there you have it. You are equipped to conquer the appointment booking game, and you should never miss any appointment going forward. If you like this video, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And please let me know your thoughts in the comment box below if you have any. Have a good time and goodbye.